guys, it's Sam. Today I'm going to be making a little survival guide for trans kids. And of course, I'm pretty much still a kid. I'm going to be turning 16 in February. And these are just some tips that have helped me and that people have told me to follow. So I'm going to be spreading the knowledge to you guys, and I hope it helps somebody out. First thing you need to know is do not let people shut you down. People can and will be mean. You have to understand that, and you have to just make amends with it. Of course, it's not a good thing that people are going to be mean, but you just have to face the circumstances and understand that people are going to be mean. That doesn't make it right, of course, but you just have to understand that people are going to be mean. And even though people are going to be mean, you have to stay yourself, and you have to stay confident in yourself, and you can't let people shut you down. You can't let other people make decisions for you. You can't let other people make you think a certain way or think that you are something that you aren't. You just have to always be yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself, and just, yeah. Another point is you have to be confident. Confidence is key. If you walking down the hallway and feeling insecure on the inside, but you strutting your stuff like you the hottest thing that bitches have ever seen, people are gonna think, oh dang, they know what they're doing, you know? You just have to act confident even though you might not be. And eventually, if you keep acting like you're confident, you're gonna feel more confident in yourself. And do what makes you happy. And with being confident, you have to be confident in what you do. Because if you don't, then you're gonna always doubt yourself, and that is something that you should not do. Let's talk about gender norms. You do not have to conform to gender norms. Don't conform to gender norms. If I ever have a t-shirt, I want that to say it. Don't conform to gender norms. You just have to abide by that rule. You can't conform to the way that people want you to look or act or talk or do this thing or do that thing. You just do you, girl. If you're a guy and you want to paint your nails, go at it. If you're a girl and you want to wear freaking cologne, because you know cologne smells really good. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying. Don't try and conform to gender norms just because people think, or other people think, that's the right thing to do. If you don't feel comfortable dressing or acting a certain way, then don't do it. Just do what makes you happy. Okay, this one is a little touchy. Friends, family, or people in general, they might and won't be accepting all the time. This one's a little touchy. Friends, family, people in general, some of them might not be accepting, but you have to accept that. I know that your family or family to some people is the only thing that they have, or friends to some people are the only thing that they have. But in some circumstances, they aren't going to be accepting. And if they're not accepting, you just have to remember at the end of your road, at the end of the day, pretty much at the end of the road, you are going to be in that coffin by yourself. As dark as that is to say, I always say that to myself. At the end of the road, you are going to be in that coffin by yourself. There's going to be nobody else in that coffin but you. At the end of the day, you lay down in your bed. You are there with yourself. The point I'm trying to make is people come and go, and that's okay. It's normal. Of course, you might be attached to somebody, or you might love somebody with all of your heart and your being, but people come and go, meaning that somebody you love a lot might not be accepting, and you have to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna love myself. And if you're putting off bad vibes, and you are just a bad influence, or you're negative energy is putting bad harm on my mental health or whatever, you just have to understand that you might have to let some people go, and that's okay. And this one is sort of for people that are out. If you're not out, then this one doesn't really go towards you. But in the future, when you do come out, this one will go with you. With your name and pronouns, you have to correct people. It takes a while, of course, because, you know, even mentally, you've been used to one name and one pronoun for your entire life, and that's changing now. Even mentally, you can and will probably misgender yourself, and that's okay, because it takes time. It's a psychological thing. It's nothing like, if you misgender yourself, don't be like, oh my God, am I not trans? Am I not who I say I am? Did I just make a huge mistake? No. It's a psychological thing, and you're probably going to misgender yourself a few times. I've done it, and pretty much everybody's done it. I mean, I think so, at least. Like, it's normal. But in the beginning, when you first start to come out, of course, you are going to misgender yourself. But you need to come to a certain agreement in your head. Be like, hey, I can't do that. That's not me. And then, obviously, you're going to... I think you get what I'm saying. But, sorry if not. Anyway, you always need to try your best to correct people, even if it's family, friends, people you don't know, people you do know. You need to correct them, because if they're calling you this old name and these old pronouns and you never correct them, how are they going to know? And then you don't have the right to get mad at them whenever you do decide to be like, oh, that's not my name. You can't do that. If you never correct somebody, or you never say, hey, that's not my name anymore, please call me this, or that's not my pronouns anymore, please call me this, you can't get mad at them because you never told them to call you something else. Get what I'm saying? Think so? Correcting people and correcting yourself is a process, and that's something you have to come to agreement with. It doesn't happen in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. People that have been around you in your entire life, it's gonna take them a while. I have family, like pretty much all of my family still doesn't call me my name and still doesn't call me my pronouns, but I'm okay with that as long as they try or say they're trying, like mentally, and they're trying to just come to face the facts that I'm not a girl and that nothing's going to change in the next few years, or it's not a phase or whatever. They just need to learn and need to understand that this isn't a phase and this isn't going to change, and they eventually will understand that, and even though it takes time, it probably will change. You can't always doubt things. Coming out. This is a biggie. Coming out is a huge process. Coming out takes a while in the stances of like mentally, like, oh, when should I do it? How do I do it? Like stuff like that. And even like, you have to come out a few times. At least I did. I came out to, like, because I'm not just gonna like gather a bunch of people and be like, yo, I'm trans and I'm gay AF, you know? So you're probably gonna have to get the script down. Just memorize it and have what you're gonna say ready, because you're gonna probably come out a few times in your life, even if like it's just sexuality wise or gender wise. You're probably gonna do it a few times, but coming out is so worth it. After however long of hiding that you did, it's totally worth it. It's just like a huge weight off your shoulders, even if they react badly. Like, you always have to come to circumstances with yourself and be happy with yourself. And even if they don't accept it, you always have to accept yourself. And of course, it's gonna be scary. The first time you do it, the second time, third time, 100th time you do it, it's gonna be a little freaky. Because it's new, you know? You don't know how people are gonna react, and it's normal. But when you do come out, you have to make sure you're safe. Whether that's having a backup plan if things do go wrong, having a few phone numbers, things packed, money packed. You just have to make sure you're safe. Even having someone with you that you know is going to help you mentally or help you physically if anything does go wrong. As bad as that is to say, things have went wrong for certain people. People get kicked out of their houses daily for coming out and people not accepting them, but that's okay, because eventually you're gonna find people you can surround yourself with and be happy with, and you shouldn't have to surround yourself by hateful people. So coming out is completely worth it. Even though it's scary, you have to do it. Obviously, everybody isn't gay, everybody isn't trans, and everybody isn't going to be as educated as you are. As a trans person, I need to educate myself so I can educate others and have more understanding for myself and others. And I think that's the easiest thing to do is educate yourself first, and then if you need to, or there's a time where people are saying the wrong things, just be like, oh, hey, you should say this instead of this, you know? So yeah, educate yourself and others in the right time and place. If somebody says something wrong in like school or something, don't just be like, yo, that's disrespectful. I mean, obviously you should confront them, but make sure you do it at the right time, the right time and the right place before you do anything, because it could be like really awkward and you don't want that. You have to face reality and understand that change isn't gonna come in a day. People, especially in your family or lifelong friends or really long-term friends or whatever, people in general who have been calling you a certain name or a certain pronoun for a long time, and you tell them to call you a new name and a new pronoun, they aren't going to change immediately. Some people might, which is of course the most amazing thing ever. I'm that way. If you tell me to call you a new name and a new pronoun, I'll be like, huh, changes immediately, because I've trained myself to do that. But with other people, it isn't the same. With family or people that you've known for a while, they've been calling you a certain name and a certain pronoun for this long period of time. And even with yourself, you're gonna misgender yourself a time or two, because you've been used to calling yourself this different name and this different pronoun for however long. And it's something new. It's a psychological thing. You can't blame yourself or blame others for misgendering you. It might take longer for others, and that's okay. You just have to understand and come to terms with yourself that some people it takes longer, and that's okay. As long as they aren't being really rude about it, like, I'm not gonna call you that, that's gross or whatever. If that happens, then kick them to the curb. You don't need them in your life anyway. But as long as there's a process and they're trying their hardest, even if it's mentally, then you're Gucci. And the last thing I want to talk about is you have to focus on yourself. You have to focus on your mental health a lot. Whether it's even like coming out related, or it's like, even if it's like not trans related or sexuality related, you always have to keep up with your mental health. Otherwise, you'll plummet into a deep, dark depression with anxiety and panic attacks and things that are not good. But don't let that freak you out. Like, I was just making a joke, sort of. But you have to focus on you, and you have to focus on your mental health. Again, I'll say it over and over, because this is like one thing that I've always said. At the end of the road, you're gonna be in that grave by yourself. There's gonna be nobody else but you in that coffin. You just have to have a safe place, whether that's certain family, certain friends, like an actual place that you can go, or it's a book, or it's a movie, or music, or whatever it is. You just have to focus on yourself. Have a safe place where you can talk to somebody, or you can relax and talk to yourself. You just always have to have a safe place, and you need to always talk to yourself. Like, even if that sounds weird, talk to yourself once in a while. If it's like right before you go to bed, when you're laying there and you're trying to calm down, or like just think about your day, or think about yourself, or you're in the shower, or whatever it may be, you always have to talk about yourself to yourself to make sure you're okay mentally, and see how much you can handle Like, some people need to take time, you know? But you have to focus on yourself, mentally and physically. Well, I think that's all I have for this video. I hope it helped somebody. I know that these tips helped me a lot when I was first coming out, and they still do help me a lot of the time. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time. Peace. Mother trucker dude, that hurt like a butt cheek on a stick.